Hi, I'm Marcy. I teach music lessons locally, and I'm the mother of 8 kids, and I am a big believer in making all of my kids take music lessons. Studies have shown time and time again that uh, music has benefits beyond just the beauty of music, which should be a reason enough in itself. Um, but they just develop a higher reasoning and focus and discipline, and they improve a musician's overall sense of well-being. And I'd just like to share some of those studies with you today in case you're thinking about taking music lessons yourself or signing your kids up. The first study was done several years ago. It compared 4 groups of children. The first were just at home. The second were in a traditional school setting. The third were in school and took a group music classes, like a music and movement or a mommy and me class. And the fourth were children who took weekly private lessons and also had a weekly group class. And then the researchers observed the children in a traditional classroom setting, and discovered that the group who took private lessons scored far and away above all of the other children in their ability to attend to a task. They focused longer, they worked more accurately, and received fewer corrective instructions from the teachers in the room. Now, by corrective instructions, I mean, Johnny, sit down. Michael, keep your hands to yourself. Susie, use your walking feet, please. Those types of things that we all say to our kids. Another more recent study was published by the Radiological Society of North America, and it showed improved brain fiber connections in children who regularly take music lessons, particularly in the frontal cortex, which is an area that's really underdeveloped in children with ADHD. And so music lessons can really benefit your child in their reasoning and their ability to sit still even. Another study was done, this was done a long time ago, but Zoltan Kodály is a composer and a musicologist from Hungary, and he began lobbying his government in the 40s for improved music education standards in the Hungarian public schools. And so the government implemented his ideas in sort of a trial school, an experimental school, and they compared the school, controlling, of course, for parents' education levels and socioeconomic levels, with children in a traditional school setting. And they were so pleased with results that they eventually implemented his ideas just nationwide. Before, children were getting about 20 minutes of music education a week done by the classroom teacher. And in the experimental school, the children were getting 1 hour of music education every day in the morning. And children showed not only improved cognitive benefits, but they showed improved psychological well-being too. The next study came out of the University of Vermont, and it showed that children who played an instrument had less anxiety, better overall feelings of well-being, and they showed a higher attention to detail than those who didn't. And the longer the student studied the instrument, the more profound the effect. Children with formal music training were more behaviorally and emotionally mature than their non-musical peers, and showed superior motor skills. And this is an article that came out of, I think it's the Journal of American Association of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry. Now, a study by the University of Vermont showed that children ages 6 to 11 who took private lessons for a year or more scored significantly higher on IQ tests than those who didn't. Now, they also showed the increased IQ and higher intellectual development, but they showed that the children achieved higher test scores on standardized tests and other proficiency exams. They were more cooperative with teachers and peers. They were more self-confident. They were better able to explain their ideas verbally. They had improvements in hand-eye coordination, concentration, memory development, listening skills, and the overall process of learning. They also had enhanced self-esteem and confidence just by regularly performing in front of public performances and performing in their lessons too. And that was an article published in the Journal of Educational Psychology. Multiple studies have shown that music training, students with music training have higher GPAs than children with none. The College Board, the organization that puts out the SAT, showed that students with music training had higher overall standardized test scores than those who did not. The University of Michigan reports that 93% of STEM graduates, that's science, technology, engineering, and math, had music training as children versus only 34% of average adults. Trained musicians score higher in language and math and had lower dropouts. A researcher from Northwestern University says music programs can literally remodel children's brains in a way that improves sound processing, which can lead to better learning and language skills. And music is shown to improve both cognitive and non-cognitive skills at twice the rate of sports, dance, or theater. A recent study found changes in the brain images of children who underwent 15 months of weekly music instruction and practice. The students in the study who received music instruction had improved sound discrimination and fine motor tasks, and brain imaging showed changes to the networks of the brain associated with those abilities. Research has also found a causal link between music and spatial intelligence, which means that understanding music can help children visualize elements that should go together, like when solving a math problem or puzzles, or if your child wants to be an architect or something, you need some sort of 3D visualization. So researchers from the University of Wisconsin suggest that music dramatically enhances children's ability to reason abstractly. And there are just many other benefits. Trained musicians are more effective at switching from one task to another. Music training shows a protective effect against Alzheimer's, and music actually has been shown to improve immunological response, so it can make you healthier, physically healthier, and it can also promote empathy. Studies have shown that just by when you study music, you study other cultures, and so that gives you a sense of appreciation for other cultures and for the people from those cultures. And those are just a few, just a handful. I didn't want to share them all with you, but I thought those were all really interesting. And if you haven't considered music lessons for your child or yourself, it's never too late. I hope you'll give it a thought, and you can always reach out to me if you have any questions or need any help. Thanks. Good night.